Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and in this podcast I help coaches, mentors, trainers, course creators be able to make more money with their businesses by getting more clients and more leads of people that are going to be able to buy from them. Now, I've been in this industry for 22 years, and I've seen what works and what doesn't, and I bring that to you every single day. There's one thing more than anything else, especially when I'm working with coaches, somebody who's mentoring people through certain things that affects their ability to close sales. And what I call this is personally identifying with, we're going to go right into it here. Personally identifying with what you do, finding your personal identity in what you do through your marketing. What this looks like is that when you're marketing your business, that if you are concerned about how marketing is going to make you look. Now, of course, I am concerned about reputation and how something is going to look and sound to certain people, but I'm not letting what I know is effective marketing, what is going to sell in my business, prevent me from actually getting clients. And I'm not letting what I know works for clients prevent me from doing what is actually effective to get them in my business. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I see coaches do, is they have a framework, they have a way and a methodology of helping people. Here's one right here. Life coaches oftentimes talk about releasing attachments. But I'll tell you this, when you're marketing, a lot of the people who you're reaching have a lot of attachments. And so you actually want to tap into those attachments in your marketing effectively to attract the clients to you. So that's just one example right there. You may literally mentor people to release those attachments, but you got to meet them where they're at, and they already have those attachments as far as that goes. Now, the other one is that like I always look at what does the client desire, and I'm going to lead with what the client desires, the potential client desires, not what I believe they need, quote unquote. Okay? So, for instance, in some of my content, again, like in this training right here, I'm giving you what you need. Nobody asked for this, but I'm telling you, if you want to get more sales in your business, you got to be doing this. Now, in that, yes, if I was to lead all of my marketing with the content of this training, probably wouldn't work very well, because this is more geared around what people need, not what they want. So I need to gear all of my marketing around what people actually want, what their desire is, what they are craving the most. And so what you're looking for is craving and desire, not need and necessity that produces result. Before you hear me wrong on this, I'm not saying to not produce results for people, because you want to produce those for your clients. This is in your sales and marketing. Okay? This is where I'm saying, do not self-identify who you are by what you do in your sales and marketing. Because if you're self-identifying as, well, my sales and marketing needs to produce results for people, blah, 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 you're not going to get clients. And I meet way too many coaches that do this, is that they stress themselves out to come up with content that is going to transform people. When in fact, that content is to be used for sales and marketing, for attracting people to them. And then they think that to attract people to them, I'm just going to give what my main framework is to people of what they need and get them a result, and now they're going to become a client. Unfortunately, that's not the way that people work. We're taught this whole give value and then people are going to come back to you. Yes, you want to give value, but the value needs to be attached to what is the desire of the prospect, of the person that you're reaching. Here's another great example. I had a client that I was working with who she helps people pleasers with boundaries. And we did a test, and I told her, what if your best offer is how to please everybody around you without burning yourself out? Now, of course, what she teaches is not about how to please everybody. It's actually about letting go of the people pleasing. And so if she self-identified with, well, I can't say how to please everybody in my market, if she felt that her integrity was at stake for saying, well, I can't offer them to please everybody because what I teach is to do the opposite of that, this client wouldn't have gotten hundreds of leads like she was able to get. This client wouldn't have been able to get the kind of results that she was able to get just working with us for a week in her business by doing this. And so this is one of the most foundational things that I can find that for coaches and mentors when it comes to your messaging, when it comes to your sales and marketing, when it comes to your sales copy, when it comes to your language, when it comes to your content creation, is that if we lead with what people need, if we lead with the framework that we deliver to people that gets them a result, if we're leading with what actually gets people results in our sales and marketing, okay, what you're selling needs to be what gets people results, 100%. But the hook that gets people there, because they don't know what you know right now. They're not at the level you're at in your business. They're not the level of understanding and knowledge. That's why you're the course creator, you're the coach, and they're the mentee. They're the student. And so you want to bait the hook with what the student wants. And that might actually be the very opposite of the framework that you deliver to people. And I'm going to give you an example of this. I had a client, he made over $150,000 in 1 month. And his biggest thing was, that he always taught was, how do I let go of control in my life? How do I let go of needing to control everything? This is what he mentored people on. This is what he taught people on, that they had to do this. But the number one question that all of the people who came to him initially desired was, how do I get more control? How do I control everything around me? So I told him, listen, I understand your framework. I understand what your teaching is. I understand that it transforms people's lives. But we can't lead with that. We actually want to lead with the exact opposite that they've already told us that they want. I need more control in my life. Okay? And so that's just a huge piece of that. I had a client who he identified strongly with the fact that what people needed in their music careers was to not seek out fame, but rather to go deeper. But I told him, listen, what people want is to know how to be famous. He had a lot of famous friends that he worked with, and he himself was famous as well. And he mentored people on this. And we had to create an offer around, how do I get famous? How do I become the most famous person in my music niche? And it worked really well because of that. And so it's not a bait and switch that we're doing. We're giving people what they desire to use it as bait to then lead people to what they need. All of these clients that I told you about delivered what people needed. But they led with and they started the conversation with the desire that the prospect has. And so again, I find this to be a level of arrogance that a lot of coaches and mentors have. I met a lot of people who have literally decided to not make the kind of money that they want to make out of arrogance for the fact that, well, I just wouldn't say it that way. I just wouldn't talk that way. I just wouldn't promise that because that's not what I do, type of a thing. And they've avoided actually connecting with any clients because of that. And unfortunately, I don't have case studies for those people because they, by their refusal, didn't get the results that they could have gotten had they taken the advice that I had given them directly and up front. Okay? And so again, if you're looking to get more clients in your business, my Wealthy Coach Academy walks you through how to do that. I work with you. I come alongside you to become a part of your team to help you get results in your business. I'd love to see you in my Wealthy Coach Academy program. I'd love to see you start to get more specific about who do you help, how do you help them, what are their desires, and creating offers around the desire that the person has to then lead them to the thing that they need. And that will produce better results for you every single time in your business. This has been Grow Your Life, the podcast, everybody. Share this with somebody. Don't let this go by without sharing it with somebody. We'll talk soon. Have a good one.